All right, so it is Record Store Day 2021. At least the first of two Record Store Days this year. Because obviously there's two drops. The second one is on the 17th of July, I believe. Today's the first one, and I've just come back from the record store kind of an hour ago, and I thought I'd show you the things I managed to pick up, the Record Store Day exclusives. First thing I want to say is how amazed and gladdened I was by how many people were down at my record store today. So I arrived about 7:30, 7:45, I think it was 7:45 in the end, in the morning. The store opened at 8, so I figured get there kind of 7:30, there'll be maybe half a dozen people in front of me, perhaps a few more. So I turned the corner to where the store is, and the line literally goes back as far as the eye can see, round several corners, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm going to be here 2 to 3 hours minimum. Thankfully I wasn't, but yeah, I still spent over an hour queuing for the record store this morning, which is something I wouldn't have dreamed of doing probably a year or so ago. But I'm kind of got the bug for collecting vinyl again. But yeah, just so happy to see so many people coming out to support the record stores. Many of these stores are kind of pillars of the community, and they have been for many years. You know, it's a great, as far as Record Store Day goes, I know it's kind of veering into territory that is a little bit exploitative in some respects, because bringing out all these exclusive releases and jacking up the prices to, you know, silly amounts, and it's kind of making a mockery in some ways of what Record Store Day used to be about, even when I first attended it. That being said, I am still a fan of Record Store Day for what it does for the stores, and obviously seeing, you know, probably 150 people queuing this morning at my record store was amazing to see, because I know that they're getting a massive kickback from that. So yeah, just wanted to say that, you know, even though I acknowledge the flaws and the problems with Record Store Day, I'm still very happy to see that, you know, people are coming out in their droves to support these stores. So yeah, I'm going to get straight into what I picked up. I got 5 things to show today. But there's also going to be another video I'm going to release with the rest of the finds, the other things that I picked up recently, as well as in the last few years, because it's been a long time now since I showed vinyl on this channel. But today I'm just going to show you the Record Store Day exclusives. So let's get straight into it. First thing here is probably the most anticipated item I had on my list. This is Quiet Kenny by Kenny Dorham. This is a pressing done by RTI. This is a very high quality pressing. You've got a tip-on jacket on this, and really the reason I was so happy to get this, and it was something that I really wanted to pick up, because I'm really looking to expand my kind of jazz knowledge, my understanding of jazz, and also just slowly but surely build up a kind of jazz collection on vinyl, because I think vinyl really lends itself to jazz. I think it's the best format to listen to jazz on. So yeah, I was really excited to get this. For some reason they put my hype sticker on the wrong way around, but yeah, this is a mono edition of Quiet Kenny from 1959, pressed at RTI, and it's all analog, so it's, you know, a very high quality pressing from the original master tapes. So yeah, very happy to get this one. Probably the best thing that I got today, and pretty reasonable price wise. I think this was £30, so can't groan too much about the price of this one. So yeah, that's the first item. Secondly, we have a band that I'm not that familiar with. It's a band that I've listened to recently in the build-up to Record Store Day, because it was an album that I was intrigued by, and it's a band that I want to get into more. This is Steely Dan with Two Against Nature, which is an album from 2000. This is the first, it says on the hype sticker, first time on vinyl. That's actually a mistake because this album did originally come out on vinyl in 2000, but I think it was limited to the kind of EU or Europe. So this wasn't released in the States. So it's the first time on vinyl in the States, but there is an original of this in the UK, which goes for a lot of money nowadays. So you got very high quality 180 gram vinyl with an orange label, and you get an insert in there, and I believe you also get an etching on the fourth side. There we go, so you got a nice etching on side 4, and you got 3 sides of music. So yeah, it's a band that I'm looking to get deeper into, so I think this was a nice thing to pick up, if not one of my most anticipated finds. I said to myself, if I see this, I'll pick it up, and they had a few copies left, so I snatched it up. So that is Steely Dan with Two Against Nature. Right, so returning to the jazz theme, this is a slightly different flavour of jazz, this next one. Wasn't entirely sold on this album, but I saw it for very reasonable price, so I decided to pick it up. This is Prism Music Unit, Salah Ragab, I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is the album Egypt Strut, which is Egyptian jazz. It's kind of big band jazz from Egypt. So yeah, this is a great one to have. You got a hype sticker on here which says it's the original album on LP1, the definitive edition of the 1974 Egyptian jazz classic. Full original artwork, and the artwork really drew me into this. I'm a big fan of that kind of monochrome cover, and I find it quite mysterious, and it's one of those, you know, when you see an album cover and it makes you want to hear the album even if you don't know anything about it. It was one of those cases of that for me. So yeah, this is a really nice pressing as well, and it was one of the cheaper items I picked up today. I think it was only £23 for this one, and you got nice printed inner sleeves, and I think there's a booklet in here as well. So let me just find it. Yeah, there we go. We got a booklet in here with some liner notes and a picture of the band there on the back. So yeah, I've listened to side A of this and it's absolutely killer. It's so good. So I would recommend this to anybody out there who's into kind of alternative jazz or you know, kind of Middle Eastern music. This is definitely one to look out for. Right, another jazz album that I picked up. This again is, I guess you could say, not classic jazz because it's well, it's jazz, but it's also Afrobeat. So this is kind of a fusion of the two. This is Cutie with Open and Close. This is a classic 1971 album, and this comes in a nice gatefold. So it's a gatefold pressing. This is the 50th anniversary edition. It came with this nice kind of hype cardboard sleeve thing, which is gold. And coolest thing about this pressing is the color of the vinyl. It's called they call it butterfly, a kind of butterfly pattern, as you can see. It's a kind of red and orange vinyl, which is super nice. Always good to get some coloured vinyl in the collection. So yeah, this is Cutie and the Africa 70 with 1971 album Open and Close. Very happy to get this. This was near the top of my list. I'd kind of gone down the rabbit hole with this artist and band recently, listening to some of their stuff on YouTube, and was just blown away by it. I thought it was excellent. So this was definitely on my high priority list. So yeah, very happy with that one. And finally, this was one I was on the fence about because I wasn't sure what price point this was going to be at. And when I saw it, it was, you know, it's on the very upper end of what I'm willing to pay for a kind of LP, even if it's a 2 LP set, which this is. and this is probably the most anticipated release in the first drop of this year's Record Store Day. This, of course, is Morrison Hotel Sessions by The Doors, which is obviously an outtake album, kind of demo album, you know, with the... So the hype sticker says, "Hear how the songs evolved in the recording studio." This is limited edition of 16,000 copies. My copy is numbered there in the top left. The top right, 13,952 is my number. And this was £35, so I was really umming and ahhing about whether it was worth picking this up, but I decided, you know, if you're going to do Record Store Day, do it right, which is probably slightly naive philosophy to have, because I ended up spending a lot of money, more money than I wanted to spend. But yeah, it doesn't come around twice, and this is, well, it actually does come around twice this year, having said that, but I'm not going to get another chance to get this. I'm a big Doors fan, and yeah, this is a killer album, The Morrison Hotel, from 1970 this came out. I think one of their best albums, so it'd be really interesting to hear the outtakes from this album and listen to kind of how the songs came together, because I'm a big fan of doing that with artists that I like. I listen to, you know, for instance, Bob Dylan. I listen to all of his outtakes when I can, because I love hearing how songs kind of come together from their genesis into something that, you know, we all kind of know and love. It's really interesting to hear how songs evolve and become something entirely different in some cases. So it'd be really interesting to hear how the Doors put some of these tracks together. So yeah, I'm sure many people will show this. It's one of those releases that was highly sought after. Obviously there's 16,000 copies, so it shouldn't be too hard to get hold of. But that being said, this was the last copy available at my store, so perhaps it will be one that's quite hard to find and becomes rare, I'm not sure, but very happy to have this in the collection. Okay, so that's everything I managed to pick up for Record Store Day today. I do hope if you're watching this you managed to get the things that you were looking for if you decided to go out to your record store this morning. I hope you found what you were looking for. Obviously it's still Record Store Day now, so get down to your store and show support if you can, even if it's just to chat about vinyl or you know, look at the other stuff that they have in stock. I think it's a great thing to, you know, support these stores because we want them to last into the future, and it's great to see vinyl making such a comeback still, and long may it continue, because it's such an amazing format and it brings people together, which is probably the best thing about it. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'll be back soon with another vinyl update showing you some other finds that I've picked up recently, as well as things that are even older, because it's been such a long time since I showed records on this channel. So I'll have a more extensive vinyl update coming. But thanks for watching and happy Record Store Day. See you soon.